There's a chance that you see a kickoff from the Raiders team where the ball, okay?
The baby Duke?
This is baby Duke. Act like it's actual Duke. I'm putting this tee. It's not a tee. It's actually an ashtray for CBD, but it has a similar build as a kickoff tee. It's sitting atop the Sacred Mushroom and the Cross.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This is obviously a book that we all read
That's right.
Glorious book.
with the
That's a good one.
with the Aaron Rodgers Book Club
One of my
2.0.
favorites.
Top 12.
So you might see this tonight out of the Raiders. I don't know. They did it last week. And it was interesting because normally you'll see somebody come hold on a kickoff for like if it's a windy day or something like that, need to hold. Normally going to be a 1 because the ones, all right, so you count from outside in, R 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the other side, L 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Normally your ones are your safety players. So they're running down and then they're kind of hanging out like 15 yards behind all the action. So if somebody, loses a lane and somebody busts through, bang, you got 3. You got the kicker and the 2 safeties that can kind of make up for it all. Now, they don't always put the ones on the farthest outside. A game is actually trying to find who the fucking ones are, and then you count off the ones. Because you could have the 1 at the 4, normally same person, though. Normally the person, you just have to find where they're at. The ones at the 4 position, so you count from outside in, 2, 3, 5, and then 1 is the 4 right there. Boom, you have it all go. So this is just not necessarily the outside person's the 1, looking for the 1 who is the safety. So the 1 will be the person that'll come hold for it. So that's an easy indicator, too, for the return team. Like, boom, there's the 1 right there. So you don't want to normally do this if you don't have to do this. You would like to keep everybody out so you don't show who's your 1 so they're not blocking them. And you also have an extra person potentially down in coverage quicker. So last week, the Raiders were doing something fascinating. They had their 1 holding in a dome, obviously. So there's no wind or whatever. Had them hold on the back end of the tee. Okay, so like I'll do it as if so we're kicking this way. We're acting like we're no. All right, go to this one. Yeah, we're kicking. Oh, go to Jabba actually. Go to Jabba.
Boom.
Boom. Okay, so here's the tee. See tee here? Okay, every tee has a little indent in it, and it's supposed to be like as little as possible so that the tip of the ball can sit inside of it, and then boom, you can bang that thing. Back in the day, they used to have the tees that had like those plastic orange things, and that would cover the fucking ball where you're trying to kick it at. So they invented new tees. There's new tees being invented every single year. Literally, ex-kickers are trying to cash in on creating the next tee that everybody wants to use, right? What can showcase the most amount of ball? What has the ability to lean so you can do little onside kicks and everything like that? People are trying to master it. It's plastic. So normally you sit that thing inside of the tee like that so it can hold it up, right? Like exactly like this. What the Raiders were doing last week, which is fascinating, is they were putting on the back of the tee like this, so a little bit more height. You see, a little bit higher, maybe like half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, whatever it is. Who knows? However long it was, however much was in there. Put on there, having to hold it, and then tilting that thing back just a little bit. Okay. So then Daniel Carlson, who has a monster leg, we're talking about one of the biggest legs in the league. He's bombing this thing high to the goal line, okay? So by the time that ball is kicked, 1, who's the holder, is getting back into his lane coverage, and obviously the kicker's kind of mirroring where the ball is, and then you're catching that at the goal line, and this thing has like hang time of a punt, like bigger than a punt or whatever, so then our special team's able to get down there, tackle them inside the 20, inside the 15, which is a massive fucking advantage as opposed to starting at the 25. So keep your eyes peeled for that tonight on Thursday Night Football. The special teams coordinator there at the Raiders.
Sure.
I know him a little bit.
Oh, who is it?
Just don't need to say his name.
Okay.
That fucking guy will read the rule book every single day trying to find, and I had to ask him. I actually had to ask him. I was like, hey, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing on your kickoffs or whatever? And like, am I allowed to talk about this? Like, is this something I'm allowed to talk about, what you're doing, or what kind of throw you? He said, all legal, babe. Do what you got to do. Awesome. I was like, all right, well, all right, this is what's happening. So that's something that I've never seen done before. And if it's been legal this entire time and somebody figured out that it was legal, the loophole or whatever, should have been doing that for a long time, and it will help out the kickoff coverage a lot. And also, it's going to create a lot more returns. Like tonight, you'll see some returns tonight if they choose to do it. If not, if you think the Rams' offense is terrible, which they might, you might just fucking kick it through the end zone and just be like, team stinks. But going forward, if you see Raiders doing that, if like they have respect for the other offense and they're like, we got to back them up just a little bit, look for them to do that. I think it's pretty cool. It's an innovative thing that I'm actually very pissed off that I didn't think of whenever we were doing this whole thing.
I'm not 100% sure who kicks off for the Raiders, whether it's Cole or Carlson. They're both unbelievable. But can every team do this?
I think it's Carlson, yeah.
I think it's Carlson, too. Can every team do it, or does Carlson like have a big enough?
Oh, yeah. I think you're talking legally? Can everybody do it?
No,
That
do they have the player that could?
So I could. I don't think if I wasn't able to do it, like when it was down here, I didn't have enough flexibility to be able to get the ball high enough to like the left. I could go high to the right because I didn't have to pull through it.
Yeah.
Couldn't go high to the left. If I was to kick off of this is like that's like almost a high school tee. So like, I think most people could probably
Get it done.
Yeah, I think so. That's the old school tee. That thing's that's the new school tee. That's old school tee. Punt, pass, and kick. Had to use that. Won with that tee. Okay, I won with that tee. Hurt my foot every time I kicked it. Then they developed this one. Bang, and it's like this is just the new status quo standard. 2 inches for high schoolers. Then it drops down to 1 inch for college, and then obviously 1 inch in the NFL or whatever. But that back end, you see, it's obviously higher. It's like a half inch higher. So it's like 1.5 inch. It's a brilliant idea. It's a good concept.
And you guys are dialed in to put that thing right at the goal line, right? Like that's easier said than done.
No. I think it's like a golf club, I think.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Just reps, and then you get like the distance on
But
it.
here's something to think about here as we go. And obviously we're talking about kicking and punting, which everybody loves.
Damn right.
Yeah. We're at the stage of the year now where guys' legs are slowing down. So, like, you might see rookie punters, like, hit a real wall here because they've been kicking since training camp of their senior year of college. So, senior year of college, you go to training camp, probably even the off-season. So, let's do off-season into senior year of training camp, and then into your senior year, then into your combine training or senior pro day training, then into your draft training, then into your OTAs, then into training camp, then the longest NFL season of your life, the longest football season of your life. So guys' legs get tired naturally. So look for punters' legs to kind of start slowing out here about 14. And this is where they're going to have to adjust their hold. Like, I think there's some guys that I'm not going to say by name, that they drop the ball too high. And then when their legs get slower, obviously your leg's not going to be able to catch up as much, so your drop is going to move, so you're not going to hit a ball consistent. If I was punters right now that potentially have a problem turning the ball over, hang on to that thing longer, drop it lower, and just turn the fucker over for the rest of the year, get to the offseason, and get your legs back on ice. Yeah. That's what I would do, but you're going to see probably some more shitty punts as we go forward, especially from some of the younger guys.
Well, you talk about that too. You know, people like saying, "Oh, it's not a big deal" or whatever. As a guy who like watching the Packers, like I tell you what, when you're starting every fucking possession on like the 13 or the 12-yard line as opposed to the 25, like that does make a massive difference. Like it's like night and day. It really is, especially if you got a team like the Rams who you're potentially starting a guy who hasn't played quarterback for them all. Like that is a massive weapon.
Yeah. I'm happy for the Raiders figuring it out. Shoot pissed that I never thought of it. Like it was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Can't wait to find out who the returner is. Chuck gets up here.
Yeah, I was going to say, because
I might
of
bet
that.
on this special teams touchdown tonight.
Oh, get a return. Oh,
Is Tutu Atwell back there that fast?
Him or Powell.
Okay.
But also, you got
if it's a good returner, though, they're probably just going to boot it out of the fucking end zone.
Yeah, and you got to bet on the player. Can't bet defense, special teams anymore.
I always enjoyed those.
Oh, that's bullshit.
It is. You're right. There's a lot of bullshit going. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, a lot of fuckery going.
Shit's hard enough.
I do love one of my favorite moments in games would be late in the game. You know, cold as fuck wherever we are. We just scored. We're up 2 or whatever, and like we're up 3, and there's a minute and 30 left. It's like, hey, I need a touchback here. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, fucking give me a cannon, I guess. This thing is 20-mile-an-hour winds. It's like, hey, come on. That's what we fucking paid you for. It's like, oh, yeah, easy, fucking easy. Let me just blast this thing 70 yards into a fucking Cleveland wind. You got it, no problem. Obviously, I don't. Guy makes a play. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I think I'm getting cut if you don't make that play.